If you were following along with me back in Chapter 2, you may recall how we could import documents like a Word document to create topics in our RoboHelp project. We could even use the headings to create the topic titles and so on. And that's great for getting content into our project, but what if the document itself that we're importing is going to be changed or updated, maybe even on a regular basis? Well, in those cases, you'd have to make those changes in your RoboHelp project as well, so duplicating efforts. Another option that might be better in those scenarios is to link to the document. Let's say our document here called xfiles.docx is going to be updated on a regular basis. Well, in that case, we can create a link to this document, and then changes that appear in the document can be updated in our RoboHelp project without having to make those changes a second time. Let's see how that's done. Just before we move to RoboHelp, just click in the title here if you've got the exercise file open. Notice that the title uses the heading 1 style. Well, the heading 1 style here in this document looks different than the heading 1 style we use in our project. Same thing if we click down below in the content. It's using the normal style, but again, the font, maybe the size, even the spacing looks a little bit different than our project. Something to keep in mind as we move over to RoboHelp. Still working with our How to Use LDC project here. We're going to create a link as opposed to importing that Word document, and all we're going to do is click the plus sign next to project files and choose where we should create the link. I'm thinking exercise files. The discussion on that topic belongs in the Getting Started folder. If we click the plus sign next to Getting Started, there's 2 topics there already, Welcome and our membership topic. But let's right click the folder Getting Started, and instead of choosing Import, let's go down to Link to link to that Word document. We'll click Word document, navigate to the exercise files where you'll find xfiles.docx, select it by clicking, and then click Open. Now it just takes a second to create the link. So you see xfiles.docx appears now under Getting Started. The word symbol and the yellow triangle you see with the exclamation mark indicates that we're only halfway there. We've created the link, but the warning is telling us we actually haven't added the topic to our project yet. So that's next. And before we do that, we want to make sure when we do add it that it takes on the new settings here that are being applied from our CSS file. So to do that, let's just go to xfiles here, .docx, make sure it's selected, and then go up to File and go down to Project Settings. From here, make sure Import is selected, and then make sure the CSS for style mapping is the howtouse.css. So that's perfect. Now we know that it's going to take on the attributes of our How to Use CSS, but when we go down a little bit further in this dialog to the Word document section, we can edit the conversion settings so that heading 1 in Word takes on the new heading 1 here in RoboHelp. So let's click Edit. We'll click the plus sign next to paragraph, and there's heading 1 right there. When we click heading 1, you can see in Word what it looks like. And by default, it's going to use the source formatting. So in RoboHelp, this is what it's going to look like, not like the rest of our project, unless we make a change here. The RoboHelp style, you can see, is set by default to source. Click the drop down and choose heading 1, and now it's going to look like the heading 1 that we're used to seeing in our RoboHelp project. So heading 1 from Word is going to map to heading 1 in RoboHelp and look like this. Perfect. The other thing we might want to make sure that happens is those headings are right at the very top of our document, and we're going to use pagination to create the heading 1 style and create the topic title as well. All right, let's go to normal. When we click normal, notice that in Word and RoboHelp, it's going to look the same using the source, not exactly like our content in behind here. So we need to do the same thing, click the drop down and select normal. So we're mapping normal to normal, and it will look a little bit different. Now when we click OK and then click OK again, we still don't have the topic in our project. The mapping is done, so when we bring it in here, it will look just like the rest of our topics. And to do that, we'll just go to xfiles.docx, already selected, right click it, and you'll see Update. Now the first time you do an update, you need to actually generate the project. So clicking Generate is going to do just that, and what you're going to see is a quick change here. First of all, the icon next to xfiles has changed. The warning symbol is gone, no more yellow triangle, and if we click the plus sign that now appears next to it, you can see the topic has been added. And in fact, it appears down below on our topic list. And if we double click it, look at that. There's the heading right at the top using the exercise files. And you can see it's using, if we click inside it, the heading 1 style which is Arial black here in RoboHelp, as opposed to that blue that we saw, and a different size, etc. Same thing if we click down below in the content. So now we can be confident that if changes are made to the Word document, they will be updated here as well. Let's see how that works. So we'll switch back to Word right now, and let's just make a change to the title. Instead of using the exercise files, we'll make it how to use the exercise files. So we'll need to save that change. Click the Save button. And if we flip back to RoboHelp now, you can see the change isn't automatically appearing here, but something has changed over here under Project Files, and that is the icon is back. That little warning triangle appears next to our xfiles.docx link. So that means we need to right-click it, go down to Update, but this time it's not generating. We've already done that. We're just simply updating. And if there are multiple links to multiple documents, we can update them all right now. But let's just click Update. It's only the one. Just takes a second, and look at that. There's our title, How to Use the Exercise Files. So imagine if we'd made multiple changes to the document. We don't have to make those changes here. We just update our link, and voila.